Motor Mind. Hi folks, Motor Mind here. So working on Land Rover again, and we are just going to be fitting a rear hitch on this. This is a 2005 Freelander 1. Got the 1.8 in this one here, but a small trailer when we tow with this. So this is actually, found this one, it was used, but is a genuine Land Rover with the OEM plug. So you don't have to hardwire in to this one here. There are aftermarket ones that you have to kind of cut and hardwire into each one. But we'll get started on this. So the first thing I have to do is I'm going to mount this unit on to the chassis. Show you how to do that. I don't know if I have to jack this up or not. I'll look to see if I can get access to it sitting. If not, then I'll move it down and we'll jack it up. But got a bolt kit and everything there. I did paint this just because it was, looking a little bit old, stuff like that, so it looks a lot nicer. But we'll get cracking on here, see if I can run through this. I noticed there's no videos that actually showed you how to install a hitch onto a Land Rover Freelander 1, so I thought, why the heck not? So let's get going here. Alright, so here, as you can see, there's the bolt holes there for the sides. These guys here is one there, and they're covered by these little covers right here. Light on that, hopefully you can see. Just gonna peel them back. And let's just see here for a second. Okay, so you can see up in there, but inside there, you can see there's kind of the focus there. See, there's threads up in there. So obviously those are all pre-threaded. So I may have to chase them a bit with the tap, but we'll see here. I'll try to see get the bolts in. The bolt kit came with this unit. A couple plates. This guy sent me. Let's see what he sent me here. A couple grommets. Let's go up into where I showed you. There's a long bolt, so I took the cover off, and these guys here will go into the chassis rails. So I think these guys here go into the bottom of that. There's a big hole. Just try to keep the water and stuff out. See here, the big holes there. Those plugs go into there. That would just keep the water and try to stop this from corroding out. I mean, it is a Land Rover product, so anything helps. Now, those go way up in here. Go inside those holes and go way up in. So like that. So I think that's the first thing to do is you get them up in. All the way up in, and then I'll just kind of do them up about finger tight. I'm going to think these guys here go on top. That's going to be a spacer. So we get on that. So I think that's the first thing to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to thread these guys and push these guys up in. Hopefully I can get them to stay. It may fall out when I move it, we'll see here. And then as you can see the pattern on there. That looks like that's where the chassis rail is sitting. Isn't it? So you can see kind of there where the pattern is, the size of that. So the thing is being used, is you can kind of see where it's at. It comes with the instructions, so we have to be a little bit clever about this, don't we? Probably should have painted them as well, but that's it, love you. Right, I'm going to probably need 2 hands for this, so I'm going to pause the camera. So I'll show you when I get it on there. Alright folks, I was trying to offer it up to the vehicle. I couldn't realize, wasn't sure, some vehicles you do and don't. I have to take off at least, I'm thinking hopefully just in here of the bumper. Cut this away, because obviously it sits in further. I'm hoping that's all I have to do, because it's kind of where the hitch sits in this part here, but it sits against there. Like I said, I'd like to remind you, this is a Land Rover supplied hitch. So this is how it was supposed to be done, like from the factory or from the dealership. So I think this guy here needs to be cut off. There's no way it's gonna mate in there. I think the rest of it goes in. So I might even just try the middle section here. I'll take off half there, and just see if that's enough. If I have to take off more, I'm going to try to take off as little as possible, but you do have to modify the bumper skin. So that's a piece of something I didn't know, because there's nothing that shows it. So not all vehicles have had some. You don't have to do anything. The whole hitch fits right in. No modifications needed, but some do, and this one is one of those. Alright, so just one thing, just a little tip, is if you got something like this, I put the hitch on there just to help offer it up and down. This makes life a lot easier, and not struggling as much, especially if working by yourself like I am. If you always have a friend, if you lift, it's different, easier than. So I've done. Not the most absolute prettiest, but I don't have my air cut-off tool here. Come on. So let's see, I've cut it out. Now, another thing I just realized, I have this towing eye there, and the bolt holes there. The ones I need for the hitch. So I have to pull this guy off. This guy moves out of the way. Those 3 have to come out, and that's going to come off, at least temporarily. And then I may be able to put this back on. If not, there's towing eyes on the rear subframe. There's one there. There's one right there. So, not without being able to tow the vehicle if need be, if you're off-roading and stuff like that. Obviously, it's a bit more convenient, but yeah, it's not. You're not without. So yeah, that's gonna come off. Hopefully those aren't corroded in too bad. You know, a vehicle of 16 years. Who knows? So we're getting them out. So that's the next step. Alright folks, I finally got this thing on here. I have had to modify the rear bumper, so I've had to cut it out, as you can see there. And up in there a bit. I may have gone a little bit too far, but I want to make sure. That way to get the hitch to push all the way in. So I've done that. You can see the bolt there. I want to have it in hand tight and get the other side there now as well. Now I think I'd highly recommend just only doing everything up only hand tight. Still gotta do these guys over here. And those guys over there. I still need to do them in. Do those up. But like I said, I had to take this guy off here, which was sitting there, as it was it interferes with this guy. The bracket won't sit. Like I said, you know, got toe points there and there, as well as obviously got a hitch and tow with that, because that's what it's kind of for. So I'm just gonna mock everything up, pretty much get everything in, all the bolts in, make sure they're all nice and in. And then once everything's started thread, then we'll do everything up, and then we'll get on to the electrics. Electrics, hopefully this one here, because it's the Land Rover one, it should be plug and play. From what I can figure out, because I didn't. And see these guys here, let's go straight. Should go straight in. And I should have left it a little loose. It's just this way you can kind of wiggle and move it around and stuff like that, and hopefully get them in. So not a lot of corrosion up in there. I may have to kind of put pressure on there, but I should go in now. Part of my problem probably is that the jack still holding some weight. So let's just take the jack down just a tiny bit. Alright, I just want to take, using the jack a little bit still, hold some weight, just safety reasons. I don't feel like having this thing come down on my head. We'll go in there. It's just pretty easy with two hands. I'll put this phone down here for a second. Hey folks, so one side here, where obviously I took that tower and eye off. All bolts are in nice and fine. This side here, with them being exposed, this one bolt here is fine, but this other two I've had to use a tap and die set and just chase the threads just to kind of get the corrosion and the grime and 15 years of crap out of there. So it's just quite tight in here. So I'm just using tap and a pair of vice grips. Let's go back and forth. Feel the resistance. This one here went in a little bit, and then it's a little corrosion at the end. So I've already done this top one here. It was quite bad, but I got it done now. So this kind of ease it in. Put lots of lube in there. Lubricate. Whenever you're doing tap and die. So go back and forth. This helps us cut the other stuff out. This one here looks like it's going in quite nice now. So this, I may have got all the corrosion out from inside there. It's just to kind of clear the threads, recut them a bit if I have to, and mainly just try to get the corrosion and all the grime out so I can get the bolts in. Alright, that's kind of how you do that. Once you've got that, should back it out. Let's have to use my little vice grips here. Right, so let's crack on with that one there. Just to show you now, I've got them cut. And so it was flying in there. Look at that, nice and just the way it should be. So it's definitely just a little hint. If you're doing this and you find it, assess found this side here being the only side needed doing, because obviously the other side had bolts in them and so they were protected and didn't need it. I do suggest put also a bit of a Loctite on just on the ends, and also look up the torque specs on this. I'll be doing that. I don't know it off by heart, but I'll go and I'll find them and see if I right now I'm just gonna go FT on them at this moment, and I'll go get the torque specs and torque wrench. UTA one is this? Sorry about that. Okay, so truck specs on these is 58, 53 on these guys here. And I think it's 94, 95 on the long bolts that go into the onto those holes there. So, just in case anybody is curious, there you are, torqued up. So, couldn't find my 3/8 torque wrench, so I had to use this guy here, but it goes down that far, so we're fine. So I'll do the other ones and put the plugs in, and then we'll do the electrical. Alright folks, got the hitch fully installed now, so now we're going to be working on getting the electrics hooked up. Took me a couple days here because I had some other things I had to do. I didn't have time last time I was working on this. So, well, the first thing I do is I take out the kick panel here, and it's back in here, behind this panel here on the right hand side. There's a grommet that comes out, and you can on this one here, because I have the Land Rover one, it's pretty much plug and play. If you have a different aftermarket setup, then you may have to hardwire it into the electrics. That's where you'd want to use something like either a light, like a test light, and you want to test, and you can test the lights, or use something like this, a power probe, something like that, and that will tell you we have power feeds and stuff like that. I'll be using this a bit, because I want to check and make sure that all my electrics work once I get it installed. So I'm gonna get on this here. Let's find my screwdriver and we'll be good to go. Okay, so once you got that off, you take that off, because obviously this sits underneath here, and you're able to kind of move this guy out here. Also, you want to take these two plugs that go in here. You want to take them out because they sit in the metal in behind there. So I'm going to take those out, and that frees this off. So I'm hoping there's not too much holding this guy on here. So take the guy out there, one of the bottom's out, and then just kind of wiggle a bit. I'm pretty sure here, once you get behind here, it's not too bad. So I don't know if I have to put the seat forward. If I do, I take this cage off. I am hoping that this I'll have enough room to get in here and get this moved. Alright, that's just enough. Now, we need is the plugs to the electrics. I'm not sure if you'll see in there. It's the plug right there. So you can see it right there. It plugs in. It's got a blank in it right now. Push that in and take that out. Now underneath, I want to push it up. I think there's a grommet right there. I think I'll go through right there. So you see the guy right there? That's where we're going to come up. So just so as you can see, I've pulled the electrics up now. There's the carpet there a bit. The grommet, I'll put the grommet back down. I should, because I took the plank out. Here should plug straight into here. That's the nice thing I have in the factory one. Like that. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this just to make 100% certain that I have power. The last thing I'm going to do is go hook up a trailer and no power. See this guy out here. So as you can see here, I've got the Ansel PB100. There's there. Not a bad little kit, but honestly I haven't had a lot of chance to use this right now. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to to hook it up, and we'll just try just doing some basic electrical testing. My test light's got a really short light, wired on it anyways. So we'll try this guy. So I'll just get it hooked up here. The best place to hook it up is hook it straight up to the battery. It's got a really long cable on it. It's a 20-foot long cable with an extension. So I've got lots to use on this. There's the PB100. Kind of hard to see because I don't have the sunlight. The shot be better. It's got a rocker switch on here, so you got up for positive, negative, down for negative. Power probe, the probe there. So 2 lights on it. It's quite handy. In the dark area, if it was dark, it's actually quite handy. And then that's the selector switch there. So it's going to select 2 different. There should be a selector there. So those here. That's the AC voltage there. Goes to your ohms. Check resistance. Diode test. And then back to your DC voltage. So I'll hook this up and I'll put the lights on and we'll check and see, make sure the power going to everything I need to go on to. Okay, so the first thing I've done is I've just put on my hazard lights. I don't get to see it on the camera so well, but from there and there, so hazard's going. I'll use this. Will use the same circuit as your indicators. It's kind of a good way to just kind of test it. So, if I'm not mistaken, it's this guy here. So you can see. Let's go there. So I'm getting power going to each one of those. So, see, it's both my indicators. Okay. So I'm going to try side lights now. Okay, before the rain comes. There's one rain in our heads here. See, if I have no power, it's going to show a ground, path to ground. So. I got ground there. Ground there, and then I got side lights on, and it's giving me a battery voltage. So you know, 12 there, and I have 12 there. So those are my side lights. Check, test the brakes. The brakes are separate, so I don't know. Text this. Okay. I myself. I will get something so I can check that. Okay, as you can see, brake lights are now on. Okay, as the rain's coming, let's make this quick. I'm gonna brake there. I should have that's giving me brake voltage there. So all voltages are there. So that should work. So that's it. So that's pretty much all it is really. What I do is I'm gonna put this back in here. So tuck it back in. So it's just slid out. So I'm just gonna click it back in. Make sure everything lines back up. And your rubber is back together. Underneath all this. Trying not to do this in the rain because it's really starting to suck. Somewhere I gotta be here in a minute. So yeah, I was gonna walk, but I guess I'm gonna drive. There's get some big old drops coming down here. Right, so this comes around like that. Back put the rubber hose over top of the rubber, like so. Okay. Now all you want to do is just get your clips. Trying to do that. And honestly, it's a lot more easier with two hands instead of trying to hold the camera. It's in there. It helps if I just do it the correct way here. There. Okay. That clicked in there, right? Okay, that's alright. There's one up there. Yeah, you know, it's a lot easier in the shop. So trying to do it on the back of the vehicle like this. It sucks a bit more. Luckily, this is my vehicle, my mess. I'll clean it up. There's the blank. Put that in there. This guy here should go in there. So I mixed them up. Right. Right. I'll find that in a second here. That might be from over on this side, to be honest. That's missing. I think I point down there. I may have been missing the top one because a few of these are missing here, so. Yeah, top one is missing. A couple are missing here. See that one down there is missing as well. So, oh well, no big deal. Just to show you, hooking up the PB100. As you just go straight to your battery ground. And power. I mean, I wasn't pushing any buttons there. I was only just touching it, using it as a test light. But it's nice and tells you how much voltage you're getting, and tells you if we've got positive or negative on each circuit. So. And I'll do some more testing with it. It has a plug here, plugs into here. Obviously it has the extension, go further, but obviously it's more than enough for using on most vehicles. But yeah, it's not a bad little kit. It did the job quite nicely. See, lots and lots and lots of cable. And as you're able to reach all the way around into actually the passenger side. So it gives you an indication. So I'll clean up this mess here. I've got somewhere to be. I'll obviously put the cover back on there. Thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button. Hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below. And hit that bell so I'll put up more videos. When I'm able to get to more things, a few little bits and bobs to do on this vehicle here. And I'll be looking at doing some flipping some vehicles. I'll be putting some videos up of those. Buying vehicles, repairing them, and flipping them. So. Hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.